Yo, what's up, man? I'm going to try something. I'm having a little audio issues with my headphones right now, so I'm going to bring in my veteran guest right away. Kyle Stafford, you're coming in. Kyle, say something. Are you talking?
No, I had to turn the mic on. Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm having audio problems here, man. Audio, mic, default. This is... Hold on. Stay on the line, Kyle. You are my test dummy for a minute here. I got people already viewing. I'm having technical difficulties.
This isn't going to because you're muted. Now talk, Kyle.
Hold on.
Hello. Hello.
Say something.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
No. I got nothing, man.
Headset. Hey, wait, are those JBL?
Yep.
Now talk, Kyle.
Kyle, say something.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now. Yes, I can. I can hear you. I don't know if my audience can hear me, but you're the savior of the day.
No, your wife is.
Amy's the savior of the day. You're pretty cool, too. I'm going to kick you back out of the room in a minute when Nick shows up. But welcome, everybody who's paying attention, everybody who's watching. This is Mission Accomplished. This is episode 4. I'm going to be having a special guest on soon, the Notorious Newell. He is a friend of the guy you see on the screen, Kyle Stafford, a good buddy of mine, who I am going to be kicking off the screen momentarily for Nick. Just 1 second. Actually, let me bring him on. He can say hello to you, Kyle, real quick, and then you can go back to the green room. All right, buddy? Ladies and gentlemen, the Notorious Nick.
Sounds good.
What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going? I just got done with a pro practice I was running for one of my fighters, Justin Sumter. He's fighting for Bellator December 10th. So we're just running him through some specific scenarios for his opponent and getting him ready for war. Well, not real war, just fake fight war.
It's still war. I mean,
not uncomparable, but.
All right. Well, Kyle, you want to say hello real quick before I kick you off and then bring you back later?
Sure. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, dude. How you been?
All right. Well,
killing it.
Stand fast, Kyle Stafford. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on Mission Accomplished. This is a new show, sort of. It's only like 3 weeks in its infancy right now, and I'm doing a thing trying to bring on fighters, talk to fighters for a little bit, half an hour, get to know some fighters, and then bring on a veteran, talk a little war stories and stuff like that. It's kind of a cool idea. For anybody who's watching out in the audience, this is the Notorious Newell. He is a current Bellator lightweight, an absolute savage in the ring, 16-3 pro, fighting out of the Fighting Arts Academy, which is your gym, correct?
Yeah, so half correct. It's my gym and it's not my gym. So the original Fighting Arts Academy is in Springfield, Massachusetts with Coach Jeremy Libashevsky. And that's where I came up and that's where I learned how to fight. And then in 2016, I opened up my own gym, which is also called Fighting Arts Academy, but Fighting Arts Academy CT. So Fighting Arts Academy CT is my gym.
And is that where you train out of full time now?
I still go to the original as well.
You
just
do?
a lot less now. Not because anything on my coach, who's amazing, who's my mentor and one of the people I look up to most in this world, but just because I have 2 kids and I run a business, I have a lot of responsibilities that are pulling me here.
Awesome. You got a couple boys, right?
Yeah, I have 2 boys, Wyatt and Brady.
How old? Young?
Wyatt turns 2 on December 7th, and Brady turns 5 months on December 7th. So they were both born.
So you got a child that was born during this pandemic. You got a Well, memory there.
Yeah, a little panty baby.
Yeah, the little panty baby. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I have two boys myself. I got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. And 2 years ago, I actually met you 2 years ago at a Bellator event in Mohegan Sun. And my son was 7 at the time, and he had a Notorious Big shirt on. And I brought him up to you, and I was like, hey, this is my son, Jackson. Jackson, this is the Notorious Nick Newell, just like the guy on your shirt. And he's like, Notorious Big? I'm like, yeah, which I'm wearing a Biggie shirt on right now. And he goes, and Jackson went, just like Connor too, right? And you said, I was Notorious long before Connor was. And my son hasn't forgot that.
He just got more famous, right? And he did really well for himself. So I guess he can have it too. But I was around and on American TV and in people's mouths in America actually before him. He did it way bigger than me, but I'm like, I'm not changing my nickname now. And speaking of Biggie, I just got custom shorts made in Coogee.
No shit, that's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, shorts right here. And then the design is the Coogee. So
are you gonna wear them next Bellator fight?
Possibly.
Nice. Well, check this out, man. My kid, the one I was just talking about, made you something, and he wants me to send it to you. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna send it, but he made this out of iron beads, and it's the 8-bit. Remember the T-shirt you had? Yeah, it's. One of the beads just fell off, and I'm going to have to fix it. But it's almost spot on to the T-shirt. And I was going to ask you if those shirts are still available, because if they are, I'm going to try to find one and buy one for them.
So I have none right now.
Yeah.
I just messaged the person that makes them to make more of them. So I have them. If it's on Instagram, it's at Vanguard MMA. Who makes my shirts. So if you send them a message, they can mail you one.
Yeah, those are awesome. And I think you had a Rage Against the Machine one too, right? That was like
a while back. I did.
Yeah.
I had one, and I could redo those ones again as well. I'm just gonna do the video game one for now because it definitely is a good seller. So when I make stuff, I try to get stuff that I can get rid of.
Yeah. And the New World Order ones too are badass.
Yeah.
So talk about how was it in Bellator? Great.
So yeah, I mean, I love Bellator. When I retire from fighting, my last fight will be in Bellator. 100%. I'm not going anywhere else. They treat me so good, and it's a big show, and it's everything I ever wanted. My relationship with the people that work there is fantastic. They're very responsive to my needs. I mean, obviously, I can't just get whatever I want whenever I want, right? But we have a good working relationship. So, my last 2 fights got canceled after weigh-ins, and they took care of me and made sure I didn't do it for nothing, and they didn't have to either time, especially not last time. So, for me, that speaks volumes because when I fight, I sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice time for my family, and kids are young, and this is a very important time, right? I fight for my family. I fight to make my sons proud, but also to make money. Make money for them. And I'm a prize fighter. As much as I like it for fun, I depend on that fight money to live and exist and keep a certain standard of living for my kids and obviously my wife too. But so for them to come through for me was big time. Yeah,
you never really hear. I mean, now, especially under the Scott Coker era, like any fighters, they never have anything bad to say about working over at Bellator. I don't know about the era before the Bjorn Rebney era. It might have been a little different, but nowadays Scott Coker seems like he's kind of the coolest guy ever. So that's pretty awesome.
Coker's legit. He called me up before I signed, and we had a long conversation. And we have a good. I'm not super close with Scott. I don't deal with him on the day-to-day stuff. Obviously, I don't call Bellator every day, but everything we've had together and every talk we've ever had has been pretty legit. And then Rich, the matchmaker, is cool. I will call him a friend. And then also a lot of the media guys, a few of the media guys I know from one of them works with WSOF, and he's a good dude. And just the whole crew just treats you like a family. So I feel like my experience with Bellator is not an individual experience. It's an experience that all the fighters get. In terms of treatment.
That's awesome, man. As far as matchmaking goes, you were supposed to fight Zach Zane twice now. Second time, it was due to you testing positive for COVID. How'd that go? Was it bullshit, or I mean, were you pretty sick?
I mean, here's the thing with COVID, and everything comes down to politics, and people get so emotional, and you have to watch every word you say today, and you can't say one wrong thing or people will lose their absolute mind on you. Everyone's individual experience with the disease is different. Me, I'm a relatively young guy, 34 years old. I was in fantastic shape. I condition my body. I watch everything that goes into my body, everything I eat. I felt great. When they called me and told me I test positive, I was like, what are you talking about? The next day, fight day, I felt fine. I had no condition, nothing. The next day morning, I woke up. I had like a minor head cold. I was like, oh, I'm a little stuffy. My head feels a little groggy, but not like, oh, sit down. I could have done everything throughout my day. I felt a little bit sick, a little off. And then I took a shower, cleared it all out. I felt good the rest of the day, but I still quarantined for 10 days. So was I sick?
That was it.
Really? Did I feel the same? No, but was I sick? Absolutely not. Is everyone's experience with the disease the same? No, but if you're young and you take care of yourself and you do things like you get sun and you take vitamins, and you exercise, and you do all this stuff, it's not going to affect you.
Yeah, it's funny because like being in the military, I'm in a big unit. We have 200 and something plus guys there every day, and we've had a few positives. And it's like one guy really felt it, lost a sense of smell, a sense of taste, and felt really sick for about a week. The other guy had like a 24-hour cold. And it's really depends on the person, I guess. It's a pretty crazy freaking pandemic, man. I mean, not that we have very much experience with pandemics, but
you know. So yeah, I didn't feel anything, or I felt good, and everyone's experience is different, so I won't.
Right. And is your gym being affected as far as training goes, or are you pretty much status quo right now?
No, we following all the rules, right? All the rules the state gives us, we follow them to a T, and
but as far as like training with Sumner, you guys can do like one-on-ones and stuff like that. Like it's not hurting his training going into his December fight, is it?
Yeah, he's a professional athlete, and we have specific training that he goes through. So this is actually, things are a little different now. So I had another fighter, Eddie George, that fought last month. He won by first round knockout. And with my camp and his camp being relatively at the same time, I and first off, Eddie and I were training. We both like kind of quarantined because we both had my wife was pregnant and he just had a baby. So we both kind of stayed safe and trained with each other through the pandemic. Because we didn't know, there were so many unknowns that we were like, like you hear all these things, you don't know what's true, you don't know what's not true. And we figured out a schedule and something that works. So when the gym opened and I have to follow the rules and I do all these rules, making sure no one's sick, everyone's safe. We were able to tailor more attention because there's less people that I can let do this training, right? There's different rules for different people, and if the serious people, we tailor the camp around them, so it's a very individualized, specific camp, and things have been going great. So he has a very tough fight, but I'm confident. Let's put it that way. I'm very confident because this is the most attention he's ever gotten for a training camp, and he's dialed in.
Now, the guy he's fighting, Romero Cotton, is that his name? Romero Cotton? Yeah. I don't know much about him. What is he? Striker, jiu-jitsu guy, a little everything. Like,
so he is a wrestler. I think he was a division. Yeah, he was a Division II All-American, maybe a national champ, Division II national champ. So, I brought in a lot of local guys, a lot of the best wrestlers I could find. Justin knows how to wrestle. Justin's very good. So, we've been working for years with a coach, Ryan Roddy, who started at Rutgers, and was a Division I. He was a state open champ, very good wrestler. And he had to step back because during the pandemic, he's a nurse, and he runs the COVID safety thing. So he's we shifted in, and we have a guy, Mike Ross, that was a All-American, Division III All-American, New England champ, very good wrestler, local guy. He's helping Justin out, so that's an All-American wrestler that he gets to work with regularly. And then we had another guy, Nick Velez, who's a national runner-up, Division III, and he was working with him. And it's very specific things. And then we have a slew of other really good wrestlers here at the gym. So there's not going to be anything we haven't seen before when it comes to this fight. I mean, Romero Cotton's a good guy, a good wrestler. I don't know him as a person. I'm sure he's a nice guy. We've watched his fights. We studied his every move. I'm sure he'll have different moves and different things that he does, but we're tuned in and we're ready for this. And I took a step back from training. I do all my training not when Justin trains, so I have eyeballs on him the whole camp, and our other coach, Roger Denton, has eyeballs on him, and we're really, really focused. He's no amateur fights, nothing going on right now. Only so many people to train, so it's he's a god.
I saw that Eddie George managed to fight twice this year, huh? Even with the pandemic going on, he got 2 fights in, two first-round knockouts. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
You got some pretty good guys, man.
You've done your homework. Eddie is a savage. Eddie's next level. He's mentally dialed in. He's talented, and he's going to make it to the next level. And every day he gets better. Every day he gets better. He's open. He's receptive. He's always learning. There's people that get pulled away for this. I get pulled away for that. I can't really train right now. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Training is his thing. He's in here all the time. Always training. So
that's awesome.
I have him, and then I have a slew of amateurs, and I got these 2 kids, AJ Barton, and he's in all the time. Every single day I see him training. He wants to fight again. It's just no amateur fights. And then I have a young Russian, Stanislav. He's 17. And he's in every day, and I'm really building I have so many people that if I start naming names, it's right? But we're all here every day, and we're all grinding. We're all getting better. So it's really I'm really liking the way things are going, especially since I added Coach Roger in as well.
That's awesome. Does your Russian fighter have a beard with no mustache and a Z in his last name?
He's 17.
Yeah. I always say you don't want to mess with a guy that has the beard with no mustache or a Z in his last name, and those guys are no one to trifle with. Now, are they rescheduling you and Zane, or are they moving on from that fight and trying to find you something else, or you don't know yet?
Here's the thing. I don't know if they think the fight's cursed.
It's one of those Habib, Tony Ferguson situations.
Yeah. But I'm not there yet. I don't think it's cursed. I spent 5 months of my life training for this guy. We need to fight. So I'm going to spend another 2.5 months getting ready for you. It's going to happen again. And he posted something. I responded. I wrote, hey, man, if you want to move on, move on. I said, third time's a charm, third time's a charm. And he wrote third time's a charm, and he sent me a message. He's like, let's get this back.
Good.
And that's good. I mentally need to take a little break because I need to quarantine. I hurt my hand in my last training camp. My knuckle, you can see, is like still very swollen. So I don't know if I chipped a bone or I don't know, but I'm giving it like a little time to heal. So I haven't thrown any. I've nothing but shadow box and grapple since my my last fight. So I'm doing that right now, and I'm coaching, and I'm still leveling up. I'm doing my thing, and even though I'm not punching the bag or anything, I'm getting my mental reps in. So after Thanksgiving, I'm back full time, and then I'm gonna just kind of use it to regulate, and then I'm ready to I'm gonna train, and then like a real hard training camp I'll start in January.
That's awesome, man. I would love to see you choke the life out of Benson Henderson one day. That's just a personal thing. The hair and the toothpick drive me crazy. So I don't know. Maybe one day down the road we could see that.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me why you would have long hair and fight, but I mean, he's his own person. He can decide. I mean, I'm sure he's a great fighter, and I think everything I've heard from him, he's always respectful. He's a good guy, but obviously. Obviously,
sure.
That would be a dream fight for me, and something that I'm trying to work my way up to.
I'm sure you'll get there at some point, man. So getting yourself started in MMA, right? You didn't do martial arts prior to high school wrestling, right?
I did karate. I did karate when I was a little kid, but I quit. I didn't quit. I guess I quit. I stopped to focus on baseball and soccer. Yeah. And then I got to high school, and I was like, I don't like baseball and soccer. I want to wrestle. So in retrospect, I should have been staying with karate the whole time. And I wrestled, and by the time I got to college, I started striking again. I basically started from nothing because it was like second grade. So how old are you in second grade? 7. So it was like 12 years without throwing any punches or anything. I was back to square one. So I started from scratch.
And what made you get into why'd you pick wrestling? I wrestled at NFA too. And matter of fact, like for the people that aren't familiar with you are known for your hand. Like you're Nick Newell, you're the fucking guy. Yeah. My coach in high school was Roy Wentworth. Do you know who Roy Wentworth? I don't know if you know him, but he was a congenital amputee as well. So my coach was.
I remember seeing him, and I wrestled with an NFA guy in college, Nick Rankin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he was the head. By the time he went through NFA, Roy was the head coach. Because when I was there, Carl Snicken was the head coach, and Roy was the assistant coach. And I'll tell you right now, man, he used to hit me with a crossface with that fucking thing, and it hurt. So it hurt every time, dude. He was a savage. He was strong as an ox too. So very cool. Where was I going with that? You've done martial arts, wrestling. So college. You started off in high school wrestling, and you started rough, right? I started not as like I lost my first 2, and then I won like 19 in a row. But you were a different story, right? Like,
your first year?
What's that?
Your first year wrestling?
Yeah, I lost my first 2, and then went 19-2 for the year. But I didn't end up being a fucking Bellator fighter like you, so I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. I loved it too. No, I wasn't varsity. I was a freshman, so I was a junior varsity, 19-2 my first year. NFA, when I went there, when I joined the wrestling team, yeah, they were like, for me to make the varsity team as a freshman or a sophomore was damn near impossible because we had Greg Perry, and Greg Perry went nationals. He was like an Olympic judo guy, and I think he coaches at Strike Zone now. There was no way I was getting a spot over him as a new guy. You know what I mean? But I remember losing those first two, and I fucking hated it. Wanted to quit after 2 shoe losses. Stuck with it. I mean, I wish I would have stayed with it like you did all the way through college and stuff, but it is what it is.
I'm sure you're doing fine.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
I ended up losing my first 17 matches. So it was 17 before I got one. And then I finished out the rest of the season 2-5.
Wow.
So yeah, I had a good season, end of the season. And the funny thing is, so after it was over, I had a teammate, Pete Benzavenga, and he was like, Nick, you got to wrestle all year. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do track. He's like, track is stupid. He's like, so I was going to track, and I was like running. I was like, this is stupid. I miss wrestling. And I don't think track's dumb. I think track's great if that's your thing. It just wasn't my thing.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I don't really care about tracks, but I joined the team, so I'm not going to quit. So I used track as conditioning, and then at night I went and did my wrestling club. And I joined the wrestling club, and I wrestled all year round. I went to wrestling camps. I did all this stuff while everyone else was not training. And then I started my season off. In my first match, I lost, and I was like, damn it. And then I won like 3 matches in a row, and I was like, man, these guys must suck. You know, like, man, because I was leveling up along with the people I wrestled with all year round. So in my club, I was still like the worst guy, and I was getting beat up every day, but I was training all the time. So I started, and then I was going against people that didn't wrestle all year round, and I was smashing them. So
yeah,
I ended up finishing my sophomore year with I was 25-12, and I placed in my conference, and I won a match at states, and that was big. That was big for me. So the next year I was like, oh damn, this working in the off season stuff really works. So I kind of dedicated all my time to wrestling. I wasn't going to parties. I wasn't doing any of this stuff. I just wanted to wrestle. I didn't want to get distracted. You know, in my family, I've had a history of people with substance abuse problems. I don't want to get too into that, but I kind of stayed away from that stuff. And I was like, you know, I don't want to be like that. I want to be something. So I really liked wrestling, and I kind of fell in love with that, and that kept me out of trouble. Not that I'm a troublemaker. I'm kind of high energy guy, but I stayed away from that world. And, you know, by my junior year, I placed in the class, and then my senior year, I placed in opens. So I was all state my senior year, and I didn't really have anyone on my wrestling team to train with because I had a pretty weak team. People weren't coming out at my high school. It wasn't cool, and it was tough. I had like mostly like sophomores that were smaller than me that I drilled with, and so my coach Schoon, who's still the coach there, who was a big mentor to me and a very important person in my life, because he's one of the first people that really was outside of my family that believed in me and was hard on me. When I was losing all those matches, he was mad at me. He expected more from me. He expected me to do better, and that really stuck with me. I was like, okay, this guy believes in me. He wants me to do something. I got to get it done. So my senior year, we actually planned on getting more matches. So instead of going to tournaments, instead of like 3 dual meets a weekend, I would get 5 dual meets every weekend. And if I had a good match, a weight class up, I will go a weight class up. I will bump around. I would wrestle the toughest guys because I was prepping myself for states. I wasn't trying to protect my record. I wanted to be the best.
You're just trying to get in as much as you can.
Yeah. So I finished after states, New England's, my conference, all that. I finished 53 wins and 10 losses.
Wow.
But
that's busy.
Was, 10 losses, but 10 of the best guys around. 10 guys that, you know, I'm talking the best in New England, the best in the state. I wrestled all of them at all the weight classes.
Wow. That's pretty badass, man. Do you ever go to any of like the Beat the Streets events or anything like that?
Yeah, I I don't personally go. It's so hard to get tickets. I mean, now with the pandemic, I have a lot going on, and I'm focused on my fighters and my family and stuff like that. I competed last year, not even relatively close to beat the streets, but I did the Nutmeg State Games last year, and I ended up beating out former state champs and current college wrestlers. I pinned a bunch of college wrestlers because I've been training all year round since I was 14 years old, and I'm 34 right now, so that's 20 years of hard work, and my body hasn't given up on me yet, so I'm better than I've ever been.
Well, I tell all the guys I'm in the Army with me, all these guys, I tell them that, like, me going through high school wrestling practices at NFA, just the practices alone set me up to be mentally tougher than most of the fucking people that I deal with, because I don't know, I'm sure you felt the same way, man. The high school practices for me were like harder than anything I did at basing training. It was like there wasn't a day that didn't go by that I didn't throw up in a garbage can or, you know what I mean, or sweat 10 pounds off every freaking day, you know? So
yeah, you gotta be different. You know, not everyone can just show up every day and get their ass kicked and come back the next day. So when I was coming up, my senior year, I didn't really have anyone to train with, but all the way up my freshman, sophomore, junior year, I had all good people that grade above me that would push me, and I could train with every day and push me in practice. I was getting my ass kicked and getting in some good scraps and having my moments. So, you know, they pushed me and motivated me, and especially my friend Pete, he like really was hard on me to be great and not do things wrong and really be successful and expect things.
it's awesome, man. So in your professional career, your submission game is just like unstoppable, man. I was going through your fights. I rewatched the XFC title fight. The freaking rear naked choke looked like you couldn't get out of that thing with a crowbar. Your guillotine seems unbreakable. Do you think that people would look at you and automatically think that you're at a disadvantage? Do you think on those submissions and stuff with your arm the way it is, do you think that locks it in tighter than the normal? The normal, it looks like it is. Either that or you're just fucking strong as an ox, because nobody breaks out of your guillotine. Nobody breaks out of the rear naked. It's just like you're in there. It's over.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, right? We have our advantages and our disadvantages based on how we're born. So some things are a little trickier and a little different. I think more so than it being an advantage, the advantage is that it's a look that you've never had before. And when I go against a two-handed person, I'm used to going two-handed people every single day. But when you train for me, you fight me, I'm a one-handed guy, and I have things that I do different, and you've never fought or trained with anyone like me. So, it's just a completely different look, and I'm good at what I'm good at. I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't take any breaks, and I live for this. So,
yeah,
that's what I've done. That's the person that I've become.
Well, dude, you are a true gentleman, a true champion, and I really appreciate you coming on here. Everyone that knows you and sees you fight knows that you're a fucking monster. So, on this show, after we get done talking MMA life and about your life, I try to do this thing called the speed round, where I ask 10 random questions that have nothing to do with what we're talking about here, so people can get to know the fighter a little bit. You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. So, speed round. Ready? Number 1. Favorite movie genre?
Comedies.
What's your favorite comedy?
Oh man, I have a top 5 comedies. You know, I like Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, Old School. You know,
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is great. You know, I can't narrow it down to one, but there's so many funny things. But definitely.
Awesome. Number 2, favorite food on the Thanksgiving table?
Stuffing.
Nice. That's tomorrow. You got big plans?
No, not that I really care for these dumb rules, but I usually don't mess with that many people anyway. So
yeah,
I'm good. I'm safe. I'm safe, but not by compliance.
All right, cool, man. Dream opponent. I guess this is sort of an MMA question, but dream opponent.
I'm in Bellator. You know, obviously Benson Henderson, who you mentioned before, is a very accomplished guy. I'd like to earn my way up to fight him someday.
Awesome. All right. What would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse?
Well, I say a cat, but then that's yeah. Then you got a tiger, or actually a horse. Maybe you have a liger.
All right. Favorite professional wrestler of all time?
Bret Hart.
Oh, dude, I just saw like the best meme the other day, and it was Macho Man Randy Savage walking away from. Did you see that meme?
Yeah, continue because people have not.
It was the Bret the Hitman. Oh no, Bret Hart's walking away from the ring. Macho Man Randy Savage coming off the top rope, and it said, "Me trying to live my life while Mariah Carey's Holly Jolly Christmas is getting fucking slammed down my throat," or something like that.
Christmas is you, and he's trying to run away. He's all
that's great.
I love Bret Hart. He gave me my glass. He gave me his glasses once.
No way.
Before a match with Triple H, when Triple H was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Obviously I started wrestling because I like pro wrestling, and I've had the luxury of meeting a lot of great pro wrestlers and becoming friends with a few of them. But as a kid, it was Bret Hart all day.
That's great, dude. Well, my favorite match of all time is Bret Hart Stone Cold when he banged Stone Cold's head off the railing and he bled like buckets in the ring. What would you want to play? Who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
Well, there is a movie coming out about life. So, really? Yeah, you'll know more details about it soon. But Cody Christian from Teen Wolf fame.
No way.
Is playing it. So there we go. It looks like he did a good job. I haven't seen it. I gave him a story. I don't really know too much about it, but I know I gave him all the information on my life, and from everything that I've seen, like little previews, it looks pretty good.
Really That's good. Freaking great, man.
It looks actually amazing. So,
what's the name of it? Is it called Notorious or?
Yeah, Notorious Nick.
Notorious Nick. Awesome. Yeah. What is something not sports related that you're really good at?
Connect Four.
Nice. Your kid's gonna love you in a year or two when they're old enough to play that.
I'll never let them win.
You got to get the competitive edge. You know what I mean? In the Cobra Kai Karate Kid saga, are you Team Johnny or Team Daniel-san?
Daniel-san's a dork. You see that way he kicked the Boba under the hand? I was like, what a nerd, right?
Yeah. I hate him, dude. I'm with you.
Yeah. So he's not a thick body. I said Johnny would beat him up. Cobra Kai. Plus, my coach Roger Denton, he's like Sensei Kreese. He reminds me of Sensei Kreese. So I got to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. Could you recite the alphabet backwards in less than 30 seconds?
No, don't even ask me. Next question.
Okay. All right. Do you have a motto, and what is it? If you do,
I don't know. I don't have.
You don't have. You don't. All right. Well, dude.
Nobody cares. Work harder. Nobody cares. Work harder.
You have been a great guest, my friend. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to bring the one Kyle Stafford on. I don't know how well you know Kyle, but me and him have had some good times together in the uniform. So,
no, I know Kyle pretty well. It's not like we hang out on Thanksgiving, but I've known him for a long time, probably over a decade, and he's always been super cool with me. More friends like I'm a little older. So we're friends like, hey, what's up, man? And talk when we see each other, but don't call each other hang out type friends.
Yeah. Well, he's a troublemaker anyway, and you don't need that kind of shit in your life.
Trust me, I'm no angel.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much. I put your social media stuff across the bottom. Is there anything else you want to plug or put out? I mean, you just broke. I don't know if that was like breaking. I didn't know anything about the movie about your life, so that was kind of cool. Anything else you want to throw out there?
No. I mean, Nothing real. I'm just staying low and just taking care of my family. My favorite thing to do is spend time with my family. And as soon as I'm done with this interview, I'm gonna rush home and go see my wife. She's holding down the fort with these two wild boys, so I got to make sure everything's okay. And then tomorrow we get ready and we have a little turkey, a little stuffing, and a little macaroni and cheese. And I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, and then some turkey sandwiches later on.
Yeah, I can cook, so whatever they make.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. I want to thank you so much for coming on. Go home to your family. Have a great Thanksgiving, and maybe we'll catch up again sometime.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll hopefully have me on again soon, and maybe have some of my guys that have fights coming up on.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
awesome, man.
Eddie, Justin, these guys are available, ready and available. Just reach out to me, and I can get them on the show.
That's great, man. Thank you so much. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Take it easy. Wow, what a cool guy that is, man. I don't know if anybody out there didn't know Nick yet, but I hope you all enjoyed that. He's an absolute gentleman, and I'm going to bring a good friend of mine on, a friend of his on, our veteran guest for the evening on Mission Accomplished. The one, I don't know if he's the only, but he's the only one that matters to me. Kyle Stafford. What up, brother?
I'm actually not the only. I'm friends with another Kyle Stafford on Facebook I added him randomly when I'd had a few too many one night, and I looked up a bunch of Kyle Staffords trying to fight them for their names. So,
oh, man. You were trying to buy the domain on Google Domains, KyleStafford.com, and it was already taken?
no, I was going to try and fight all of them, and if I won, I got to keep the name, and they would all have to change their names.
Oh, you were trying to set up like a little gypsy bare knuckle boxing match between you and the rest of the Staffords?
Pretty much. And then I ended up just becoming like decent friends with one of them. He lives out in Oregon. He's a Marine Corps vet, actually. Was in the push in Ramadi in 06, 07. But he's a cool dude.
You know, Kyle, for those who don't know, this is my veteran guest of the evening. He is Sergeant Kyle Stafford, maybe soon to be Staff Sergeant Kyle Stafford. Maybe. We'll see.
Possibly,
I mean, I think you've held that rank down long enough. I think it's about time. While we're shooting the shit here, I'm just going to throw some like veteran hotlines across the bottom for anybody that wants to maybe call a number and get a little help. Not that we need it, but, you know. What was your favorite annual training of all?
The option there if someone does.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, your favorite annual training ever. What was it?
Definitely Maine 2017.
That's the one I was looking for. Back in Maine 2017, me and Kyle here. By the way, we got a couple of pretty awesome first names. I just want to throw that out there.
And our birthdays are 4 days apart. Happy early birthday, by the way. I won't see you on your birthday, so.
What's yours, the 8th?
Yeah.
Nice. The day after Larry Bird, by the way. And Kyle, I feel like maybe we should drink a Monster and punch some drywall while we're talking here. I don't know.
It'd be the
Kyle thing. It'd be the Kyle thing to do. Tell us about how many deployments you went on? 1, 2, 5, 7?
One.
And
Afghanistan 2010.
2010. And what was your time like up in Afghanistan? Was it stinky? Was it a blast?
If you've ever been to Afghanistan, you'll already know that it is very stinky there.
Yeah.
No, so I came into my unit a little bit late. I got out of AIT and got sent right to MOB station like 3 weeks after getting out of AIT. And because I was the newest and had all of the information freshest in my mind for the job that I was doing, my platoon sergeants felt that I should go to the most remote and most dangerous outpost. It was like I want to go back there all the time. Like, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So, I mean, the friendships I made were incredible. The stuff I saw and things I experienced were things I'll never experience again. But
right,
exactly.
Was your transition back home pretty smooth, or did you have a little bit?
There was a little bit of a hitch, just because the year that I was in Afghanistan, I was 21. So I came home just before turning 22. So I was like, I've got some drinking to make up for.
Yeah.
And I didn't get in any trouble or anything like that, but I definitely
got a few scraps maybe here and there.
Definitely went a little too hard maybe occasionally. And as one does when they deal with combat, they deal with the effects of it afterwards. So the drinking was more of may have been a little bit of a reaction to that as well.
It's funny you say that, because when I was at AIT, I turned 21. I graduated AIT on a Friday, was activated on a Monday, was at first formation for MOB on Wednesday, and we were in Fort Drum.
We've talked about this before.
Right. Yeah, so I was in the same boat as you. I didn't even get to really celebrate my 21st birthday or go out and do all the dumb shit that people do when they turn 21, because I went straight from training, 3 days home to get activated to a MOB, and then like deployed, came back. I had just turned 22 when I got back. So I did the same exact thing, man. It was like 22 years old, didn't even get to really party much in my 21-year-old year. And it was like off to the races, complete shit show.
December 4th, 2009 was the day I flew to Camp Atterbury for MOB, and my 21st birthday was December 8th. And a buddy of mine he had been active duty for like 6 years prior, he ended up joining the Connecticut Guard and being in my unit, and actually in my section for the deployment. We had a wild night. We went to Walmart on my birthday. And he picked me up a 6-pack of NA beers, and we drank some NA beers back in the barracks. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Living the hard life, dude. Thug life.
Living the dangerous life. We could have gotten in some big old trouble.
It's hilarious.
But no, like, so it was cool. Like, I got accepted into my section like pretty much right away. There was no like, there was like the getting to know each other period, but like I was able to prove myself pretty quickly, and they didn't really have to worry about me. So
yeah, that's good, man. Well, you're a very likable person, so there are the grizzly older veterans that would see a young punk like yourself come in and immediately be a dickhead, or they would accept you.
Well, the weird part is that I got along with those ones better, because for some reason in my mindset, I feel like I served in the Army in 1964. Like that's my mindset of the Army. Like I want to go back to that, not what we're going into now. I want to be able to smoke the shit out of my Joes. I don't want to have them be like, I feel like you're being a little too hard on me. It's like, well, you were 4 hours late for drill. So,
well, unfortunately, we live in a different time. So in the chat room here, dude, we had Ian Olson. My boy Ian says his 21st was active off the coast of Ethiopia. he turned 21. And then another Facebook user, I don't know his name. I don't know the name because they didn't grant permissions for me to see their name. People who are watching, you need to click the link and allow StreamYard to show your name. But it says that person, whoever it is in the chat room, spent their 21st in South Korea. So they were probably living some dirty shit too and living a good life down there. Hey, where are you talking to me from right now?
Someone also said Lewis. Lewis is definitely a better name than Kyle, which.
Justin Dupas.
Oh, is that
Justin?
Is that?
I don't know who Justin is.
Is it Louis Montez?
It might be Montez. That douche.
Well, you know what, Montez. I don't.
Be my girlfriend.
Anybody that. Oh, dude, your girl is a smoke show. Wait a second. That's my fucking wife.
I'm just trying to be like you, Kyle. I want to get a girl who looks just like your wife.
Well, I think she succeeded. She happens to be attracted to funny guys named Kyle who like to drink beers.
That's true.
It's kind of her thing.
Kyle's gonna be really mad about his bar tab.
Oh shit! Kyle's gonna be pretty mad about his bar tab. So real quick, I have a sponsor for the show that is Holding Hands Massage. I don't know if you know about them, but they are veteran. They are approved through the Veteran Affairs now. So veterans can go see Jackie Holden and get all their pain relieved by her magic fingers. I had this thing printed out that I was going to read tonight about it, but I completely forgot it. So I'm just going to tell you what I know about her. Jackie knows the human body. She knows how to find the pain receptors, the trigger points, and she will alleviate any back pain, knee pain, hip pain, neck pain. You go see her. At the bottom of the screen, VA clients can go to holdenhandsmassage.com. Non-VA clients go to massagetherapist.com. And another sponsor I got coming into the show is the guys from Killfoot Clothing, veteran-owned. Go to their website, check out their clothes. They got badass. Like, they have the typical veteran America type shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the speed round, Kyle. What do you say? I've been looking forward to this.
Do it.
I've been looking forward. Speed round.
You got to get a sound thing that comes and goes, speed round.
Speed round. So I'm still new to this shit, dude. So I am going to have some sound bites and soundboards and overlays and all that stuff coming pretty soon. But for now, we're keeping it simple, like me and you. Very simple people. Speed round.
Very.
Numero uno.
They make me happy.
If Kyle Stafford was an Olympic athlete, what sport would he compete in?
Javelin.
Dude, I didn't know what you were going to say. I really thought you were going to say, for some reason, I thought it was either going to be swimming. I don't know why. Swimming because of the Speedos, or curling. Yeah.
Ooh. If you'd said like Winter Olympics, then it would have been in curling. But you said Olympics, so it made me think summer, and that's why I went javelin.
Well, you're an idiot.
But I only did javelin because remember in Revenge of the Nerds when the gay guy had the dildo javelin?
Yeah.
It made me think of that.
You would be pretty good at the dildo javelin.
I probably would.
Numero 2. Pick one of these following Christmas movies: Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Christmas Vacation, or Ernest Saves Christmas.
Definitely going to be 2, Christmas Vacation.
Not A or D?
Well, you put A, Home Alone 2, Christmas Vacation, D, Ernest Saves Christmas. So how many beers did you have when you made this speed round?
I did it at work today, so like 6.
Just sniffing fucking
All right.
aircraft fuel.
All right. Tell me something that you're great at that nobody would expect, Kyle.
Oh God. Well, luckily nobody expects me to be great at anything. So. Oh, chugging beers.
So it should
I
be
guess.
easy to.
Your wife just told me. Your wife just pointed that I'm really good at chugging beers. So.
All right. Well,
But they expect
Amy,
that from me. So no.
well,
I mean,
is
oh, she's pushing
where
all the
is
empty
she
beers
currently?
I've had.
It,
She's on the other
where is
side
she?
of the kitchen island.
Oh, okay. As long as she's not under the island. All right, dude. This next one is a doozy. It is an absolute doozy. And if you can't do it, maybe my wife can. Can you please rap the entire first verse
Nope,
of Wu
can't.
Tang's Triumph? Amy?
I can't.
I bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and
Amy,
hypotheses.
can you rap the first verse?
Can't define
of
while I be
Wu
dropping
Tang's
these
Triumph?
mockeries, lyrically perform armed robberies. Flee with the lottery, possibly they spotted me. None of that?
Play Wu-Tang's Triumph.
He was asking if
Oh
you
my
could rap
God.
it now. Nope, she's
You
she's
guys
trying to put it
suck.
on now.
All right, let me see. Let me check the chat room right now, real quick. Can anybody out there rap the entire verse of the
13
Wu Triumph? You fucking scumbag. All right, you know what? I really had high hopes for you, Kyle, on that number 4. I bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. All right, well, let's move on. Number 5, favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to?
1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
housekeeping.
housekeeping.
We really sucked at the timing there. All right, what is your most random tattoo that you've ever gotten? I know you got a million of them.
That's random. I guess I got Hope Gallery in New Haven. Before COVID and stuff, occasionally during the year they'd have like flash days where you could go in for like $70, $80. You pick something off of predetermined flash sheets that they had, and you go on the tattoos. I have like some random sparrow I got one day like a traditional swallow on like the side of my calf, or like
Your favorite thing to do?
skull.
Oh.
This skull that's chugging a beer. Oh, good one.
Ah, touche.
This skull that's chugging a beer, like that a buddy of mine, he was apprenticing to be a tattoo artist, and he was doing free tattoos. So I got one on my birthday one year. Well, Mighty Ducks one's pretty good. I forgot about that one. It's not random though.
That's on your calf,
awesome.
right? That's your favorite tattoo, the Mighty Ducks one? That's pretty badass. All right.
It's not
How
my
about
favorite
this?
It's not my favorite tattoo.
Who's the funniest person you know?
Oh fuck. It's not you, unfortunately.
I didn't think it was
You are
going to be
very
me.
funny.
You
You're not the
you know a lot of
funniest
people.
person I know.
Oh, you're not the funniest person I know, dickhead.
Funniest? Well, I didn't think I was. I'm not that funny.
You don't have a fucking funniest person. I could tell you like 6 of them right off the top. My Uncle Mike is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. He's fucking hysterical. You don't got somebody like that?
No, like probably like one of the funniest, or like the funniest person that I've ever like been friends with was probably my buddy, this kid John Close that I was in high school with. Like he literally, this is back before memes, so like we would just quote Anchorman at each other all the time, and he would just have me fucking dying the entire time. But like even then, like just the shit that he would say all the time just would kill me. There wasn't quotes from movies. So
all right, let's go with number 8 here. Would you rather never be able to shave again or never grow facial hair again? Never be able to shave ever again, or never be able to grow facial hair.
I'm going to go never be able to shave again.
You're just going to be walking around with hair down in the fucking ground?
That's right. It's going to braid it.
Would you braid it? Would you have like one big braid
Absolutely.
down the front? One dreadlock down the middle?
Three. I'd have 3 braids. 3 braids.
All
And then
right.
I'd braid those 3 braids.
This one's a pretty hard question, and I'm really curious to see what you say. Is Ben Affleck a good actor?
He's a decent actor. It depends on what he's in. Geely? No. Gone Girl? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
The
Will
Town?
Hunting? Very good. Argo? Very good. The Town? Very good.
Batman?
Mallrats? Very good. Chasing Amy? Really good. I'd say he's a better actor than a bad actor.
I feel like Ben Affleck catches a bad rap, and I think it's because of Geely and maybe Reindeer Games. You know, people really
And Jersey Girl.
And Jersey Girl. They put a lot of weight into those 3 movies, and they forget about the Good Will Huntings and the yeah. Well, I'm with you. I'm glad you said that
I
because
don't know.
I was
Reindeer
going to
Games
come.
was pretty sweet. You saw Charlize Theron's boobies in that one, so I can't hit it too much.
You know, Charlize Theron, man. She's the blonde bombshell or whatever the hell that movie was called. Atomic Blonde. You ever see that one?
Atomic Blonde.
Maybe you should check that out. Kyle,
Nope.
last question. Very last question.
Sure.
And then I'm going to come downstairs and push my wife off of your lap, and we're going to have a couple beers together. Number 10, what's the largest bar tab you've ever racked up in one bar? One trip to the bar, biggest bar tab.
That I paid myself or like
Yes.
just split? $1,200.
No. Woo-hoo-hoo. Really?
Yeah, right after the deployment. So when you come home from a deployment, like everybody's buying you beers and like you don't pay for anything at all for a little bit. Like all your friends are like picking up all the tabs. So like the novelty wore off after a few weeks, and I still had, I don't know, 22 grand in the bank. And so I took my friends out one night to a bar that on a night that they were doing $1 Miller High Lifes. So I assumed the bar tab would maybe be like $120. My asshole friends decided to start ordering shots of Louis the 14th. I got the tab and I went, and that was before tip. I was like, you guys are covering the tip. Like, I hope you have cash on you. Like, I'm paying the tab, but like, I'm not covering the tip on $1,200. You guys can go fix yourself.
So they tipped. They put the tip down, or did you guys run?
Like they had like, no, they had like a couple $100 on them in cash. So it was between like 6 people. So.
Dude, after my first deployment, I was down at this bar in Norwich. It used to be called Dylan's Bar and Grill, and now it's where These Guys Brewery is. I don't know if you know where that is. These Guys?
Nope.
No. Same location though. Nope. Dylan's was a freaking great bar, and this girl Steph was the regular bartender down there, and I used to go down there and just get wrecked all the time. It was definitely the dumb years of my life. But I went back there after one hard night, you know, nowadays, if I had one of those nights, I wouldn't be able to go out for a month. But back then I went right back to the bar the next night and I ordered a drink and I put my credit card on the counter to start a tab. And Steph was like, no, you don't have to pay here for a while. And I'm like, what? She goes,
so I don't know. When I was like,
no, go ahead. No, well, the long story short is I don't remember what I did the night before, but she told me I tipped her $120 on like it was like a $40 check or a $20-something bill.
Okay.
And I wrote like 140 on the tab. And she was like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, Kyle, I kept sliding it back to you and saying, no, your bill is, and that should tell you about how cool the bar was, because my tab was like 20-something bucks, and I was blackout. But yeah, so it was one of those nights where I was drinking for free for about 2 weeks there. It was great.
Yeah. When I was like, I don't know, like 18, I was able to get into this nightclub in New Haven a few weekends in a row, underage. And back then I drank strictly Jack and Cokes for some reason. I don't know why.
Can you still drink them right now?
I mean, I can.
Drinking them back then didn't ruin it for you in your older years?
No. The only thing that ever got ruined for me was like Jaeger and Goldschlager.
Oh, with me, it was Southern Comfort, dude. Southern Comfort. I used to drink SoCo
I was
and
never a
Coke.
huge fan of Southern Comfort.
Ugh.
I was never a huge fan of SoCo.
No. Disgusting.
But so I was able to get into this nightclub underage, and I'd order a Jack and Coke and give the bartender a 20, and he would go to give me my change. I'm like, you keep it. And I did that like 2 or 3 times in a row. So I'm already at like $60, but then the rest of the night he would just be like, Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke. And he'd be like, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me. I'm like, I think I just ordered Jack and Cokes on your Alexa down here.
Oh, I thought that was Amy yelling at you.
I thought it was too.
You know what's funny is
I just ordered 5 Jack and Cokes.
Dude, some of the comments.
Look how big these things are.
You do have gigantic hands, and I don't care what anybody says about your tiny little hand. Big. I mean,
I really ride palms.
Have Amy put her hand up against yours right now. I want to see who's got the bigger hand.
2020.
Mad Dog 20. Can you and Amy put your hands together like this? I want to see whose is bigger. Are you not going to do it?
No, Margaret, I don't have a tattoo on my butt. I was just looking at the.
Wait, move over. You're out of the camera.
Slightly bigger. Slightly bigger.
No, Amy's palm is below your palm.
You're below my palm. We have the same size.
You know, Margaret says that we're slurring, but I think she's full of shit. Either that or we're punch drunk. I don't know.
No,
I've had about 6 concussions in my life, so
there's a lag on the feed. That's all it is. It just sounds like we have a slur.
Oh, Jesus. All right, man. Well, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to see you soon.
See you real soon. All right.
Thank you for coming on my show tonight, dude. This is a good time.
Hey, thanks for letting me do it from your kitchen. That's cool.
Yeah, you have gigantic hands. Look at how tiny that beer can looks in that giant hand.
It's a 12-ounce. It's a 16-ounce beer.
Oh, that's a tall boy? You look like fucking Andre the Giant then.
Hello, pretty lady.
All right, man. Anybody want a peanut?
Anybody want a peanut?
All right, man. I'm kicking you out. I'll see you in a minute. Peace. Wow, what a good show tonight, everybody. We had the incredible, the inspirational, the notorious Nick Newell. That guy was fucking awesome. I would talk to him every week if you wanted to. Hopefully we'll catch up with him soon. Hopefully he'll get a fight in Bellator soon. Maybe he can get that Zane fight finally. Anyways, and then I had, the notorious Kyle Stafford on. You know what? Before I let you guys go for the evening, for the people that are watching right now, who is the cooler Kyle? Me or Kyle Stafford? Just drop it in the comments. Let us know. Maybe I'll do a giveaway if I get enough Kyle Mishes in the. Yeah, I think I just bought it. That's cheating. No butt talk. Oh my God. All right, let's close it out. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Everybody needs to pay attention to Mission Accomplished because I have a lot of big names coming up next week. next Wednesday, 7 p.m., I'm having Johnny Big Rig Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks, who took George St. Pierre to the brink, beat the living shit out of the greatest fighter of all time, and got robbed by the judges. Everybody who knows that fight. I mean, I remember where I was that night. I was at my buddy Mike Connell's house. We were watching it. They gave the fight to George St. Pierre. Unbelievable. Johnny won that fight, but Big Rig Johnny Hendricks is coming on. The fellas from Kill Foot Clothing are coming on. The week after that, I got the double champ from Cage Wars. Jeremy Wolfolk, who is the super heavyweight and the heavyweight champion from Cage Wars. He's coming on December 9th. And December 16th, I got ATT's own Dean Thomas De Niro. We got Dean Thomas coming on, the head coach of Tyron Woodley. He's going to come on, and we're going to talk a little shit too. So big things coming, big guests, big names, big fun times. Mission accomplished. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys.